blessed feast of the Epiphany. My name is Mike. I am one of the priests here at Holy Communion. And this week we celebrate the story of the Magi. On Sunday we'll be reading the story of the wise ones as they made their way to Bethlehem to greet the Christ child. And today is actually the feast day, the last day where we mark the end of the Christmas season. And if you know the story of the Magi, you know that this story involves a group of people who get sidetracked on their journey. And I need to announce to you that we have been sidetracked in our journey toward more normal worship. As you have probably heard, both case counts and hospitalizations have reached record numbers in the St. Louis region in recent days. I would ask you during this Epiphany Tide to keep our healthcare workers in your prayers, to pray for all of those who are facing this unprecedented surge, and to pray for our school teachers and everyone who works in congregate settings. It's really hard, especially this many months in. Please keep them all in your prayers. I also need to let you know we are adjusting our requirements here for worship. We will not be going fully online. We won't be shutting down the opportunity for in-person worship, but we are severely limiting in-person worship in the coming days as we go through this surge. So we really do encourage you, if you feel at all uncomfortable being in person, if you just want to do your part, please do worship with us online. If you would like to worship in person, there will be 30 spots available like there were at the beginning of our in-person worship in summer. That is more than a 50% reduction in the number of spaces available. We also will be limiting our singing to just the musicians. People who are here in person will be invited again to hum or to recite quietly. We are asking you to use a higher quality mask, either to double mask. If you have a cloth mask on, we would ask you to put a surgical mask on underneath, or to use one of these KN95s or an N95 mask with better filtration. We do have both surgical masks to go under cloth masks and the KN95s available. We do ask that you only take what you need to be here in the building in person. If you need help affording the more expensive masks, please talk to a clergy member. We'd be happy to help you, but we do have a limited number, so we'd ask you not to walk out with a big pack of masks if you come in person. We are asking folks to be up to date on vaccines. That's a little more than just fully vaccinated. That means that if you're eligible for a booster, we do want you to be boosted to be here in person. And finally, we're implementing some testing requirements. This is a little tricky because testing is still hard to come by at times. Lines for testing appointments are long. The rapid tests are not as readily available as we hope they will be in the coming weeks. We will be asking everyone who is reading, who is preaching, who is singing as part of the leadership team to be tested. The church has purchased tests for those who are leading. And those will be rapid tests that test more for whether you have transmissible coronavirus. And we're going to ask folks to be tested within 24 hours of leading worship. And we would request, if you're able, if you have access to a test, if you are going to be here in person, that you would also test weekly within 24 hours of being in worship. The docs on our group think that testing is going to be an important way. Regular testing is an important way for us to continue to move forward and to bend this particular curve. So while the case rates remain high, while transmission remains high, we're going to ask folks to have testing as part of what we do going forward. If you're having a hard time accessing a test, if you're having a hard time affording a test, we are in a position where we would ask you to touch base with clergy. We'll do everything we can to help you access and afford tests. We will provide tests for those who are asked to lead in worship if they'd like to get them from the church. These are tough times. I didn't want to have to make an announcement that we had been sidetracked. We've been really blessed over the last several months to be moving forward, to be able to be together. I can't tell you how much of a blessing it was for me to be in this church just a couple weeks ago celebrating Christmas, and to hear Silent Night, to hear Joy to the World. It's hard. Know that it's hard for all of us. Know that you are in my prayers daily, and know that we will get through these days together. But right now, it is very important that we do everything we can to keep one another safe. This coming week, we won't be having a forum this Sunday. All these pivots have made that not feasible this Sunday. But next week, we will be releasing a forum conversation early. I'll be having a conversation with a couple of members of our parish, Dr. Allison Nash, who's the chair of our pandemic task force, and Paul Mensa, who is on the Pfizer vaccine team, about where we are in this pandemic. I'm also hoping to add somebody with an expertise in mental health to that list. But if you have some questions, they obviously can't be personal medical questions, but if you have questions about where we are, about what the church is doing, about the therapies that are coming, about the vaccines that are coming, about booster shots, we would love to have those. When this is posted online, we'd love to have your questions in the comments. I will share those questions with the experts as we have our conversation next week, and you can tune in when we post that conversation. For now, though, even in the midst of this frustrating, sidetracked moment, I wish you a blessed Epiphany, and I look forward to seeing you online or in very safe ways in person soon. God bless.